When a hot air balloon carrying 4 passengers was blown out to sea by storm winds, both the local police and the Southport Volunteer Air Sea Rescue Team sent boats to search for the missing balloon.
More people on board.
Senior Rescue Coordinator Greg Turner and his partner Russell Stewart were dispatched.
We had no visual contact with the balloon, so we started heading in the general direction of where the balloon should be.
The balloon had a big head start on us. Eventually, it was going to ditch into the ocean, so our response had to be very quick. It was going to be hang on all the way because this was going to be like an offshore powerboat race ride out to the job.
Two shark cats been...
The balloon was at least 10 miles out to sea by then. Roger was running out of fuel and he was starting to go through emergency ditching procedures with his passengers.
I can see you in your present position.
It wouldn't have been a great feeling to see the coastline slowly but surely merging into the west. It adds to the remoteness of it all that basically you're there by yourself.
Gold Coast Constable Greg St. Clair was also searching for the balloon.
Storm out here, Nav.
It was hidden from us by storm cells and you just can't see through them. I was worried at that point that we may be too late, the balloon would be in the water.
Got to be up in the cloud area, hey? Like...
Yeah, definitely.
Greg, keep it going in southeast, mate. Just keep the speed on.
Still can't see anything out there. A lot of cloud. There it is. There it is.
There was relief in my mind when we first saw the balloon. It was still up. We still had a chance.
The balloon had been in the air for more than an hour and was almost 20 miles out to sea by the time the rescue boats caught up with it.
They came down so they could verbally talk to us. The canopy was just acting like a big sail, so he was scooting along quite fast.
Throw me the rope. Throw it. There we go.
They dropped us down a landing ribbon.
The pilot was informing us that he only had 5 minutes or so of fuel left to keep the balloon aloft. The people on the balloon were quite panicky and calling for help and please rescue us. But we were trying to sort of think, how are we going to do this? This is something that we've never done before.
It was obvious from the speed that the balloon was going at that when they struck the water, there was going to be problems. So Roger wanted to attempt basically a crash landing on the back of the boat.
We had to maintain the speed of the balloon.
Come on. Fall into the water. Okay, stop keeping the boat. Okay.
We kept hold of the landing line and trying to steady it and trying to pull it closer to the craft. But because our boat was pitching up and down quite severely, it made it difficult.
Get right up underneath it and you can just go for the back of it. Right.
The pilot kept pointing his arm out in the direction he wanted the boat to travel. He was coming down. It was do or die.
The boat came off a wave, it hit the basket, knocked it sideways.
And then he hit the gas to take himself up a little bit, and it didn't work. It hit the wave top so hard, everyone fell on each other.
It was just sheer terror. You could see it in their faces.
The basket scooped up some water and slowed down its momentum.
The basket at that stage was still doing around about 18 knots.
The canopy of the balloon was just pulling it through the water, and all these people were trapped. They couldn't get out. The force of the water was way too strong. We thought that we're here to help, and these people are going to drown in front of us.
I put the boat in as close as I could.
We didn't want to crush the people with our boat.
Then this lady pushed herself out of the top and she went under the water. She was being dragged, totally submerged. I knew I had to get her, otherwise she wasn't going to make it. I just remember coming to the surface with her, and I was relieved that I had her in my arms. She was safe.
Sylvia Steele was pulled into the police boat.
I thought, would I see any of them again? If anything had happened to my husband, I don't think my life would have been worthwhile living. He's everything to me. We've seen good times, we've seen bad times, but we've always stuck together.
There was still 3 persons on board. One lady in particular was just staring straight at me and screaming for help.
Our biggest fear was the whole show was going to sink with the 3 people right in front of our eyes.
I pulled out one lady first, and she was quite shaken.
But the boat was lurching from side to side. We yelled and screamed and said, come on, you know, you've got to get yourself out.
Come on! Come on! One more!
Once we knew that there was nobody else trapped in the basket, we then allowed the balloon just to continue on its way.
The job was done. Everyone was alive.
The other woman on board had a big smile when the husband saw her.
I couldn't get out the boat.
When it comes together and it's a success like that, it makes it all worthwhile for the countless hours that we put in.
While Roger the pilot stayed behind to try and salvage his balloon, the others were taken back to shore.
Cheers, how you going?
Was this your first flight?
Yes, first and last.
But I mean, it's all right.
Sylvia, who'd been dragged behind the balloon, escaped with a scraped foot. Her husband, Alec, was treated for a shoulder injury. Judith was physically unharmed, but very shaken.
I saw the other lady go under the water and not come up, but, you know, then I was so frightened that I'd crash my head. It was my daughter's birthday today, and I thought, you know,